Hello, welcome to our webinar, Manage Training for Maximize Adjacent Sales Opportunities with Seneca Digital Signage Solutions. Today we have with us Scott Falso, Marketing Development Manager, who has been with Seneca since 2002. He's responsible for Seneca's digital signage and broadcast market strategies. For 15 years, Falso has played key roles in transitioning Seneca from a white box system builder to a vertically focused appliance manufacturer. In this webinar, you will discover the digital signage ecosystem and how to capitalize on adjacent sales opportunities. Attendees will leave this session armed with an understanding of the digital signage landscape, the talk track to uncover sales opportunities, and a turnkey solution to sell. My name is Julie Rolls. I'm the training specialist with PSA Security Network, and I will be moderating this call today. I have just a few quick housekeeping items before I hand it over to Scott, and now I see Jeffrey Weitzman has just joined us. Jeffrey will be presenting. He is from Navori. Jeff studied finance at Concordia University, followed by law at the University of Montreal. After several years spent in the banking industry, he moved his talents toward information technology with over 6 years of experience as a digital signage subject matter expert. Jeffrey is responsible for managing major accounts, specifically those with national or global rollouts. He plays a critical role throughout the entire sales process, from concept to execution. If you happen to have any questions throughout the presentation today, please type them into the question panel and we'll have time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. If you run into any technical difficulties, I will also be monitoring chat and will do my best to get you back up and running should you run into any difficulties. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Scott and Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Great, thanks for the time today. We've got a half an hour to cover a good amount of material, so we're going to jump right into it. This presentation, some of you have different levels of understanding the digital signage marketplace. We're here to give you a peek at, what the ecosystem is and how you can get involved under the premise of improved profits with Seneca and Navori. Advancing the slide. Just to start, I've been starting presentations with this just to set the stage. The world is changing, and we see it all in all of our businesses. And us as marketers and sales and business development folks, we've got to figure out new and creative ways to go grow sales. And a couple of these statistics, and the list goes on, but something to think about and marinate in. The world's largest taxi company today owns no taxis. The largest accommodation provider has no real estate, right? Airbnb. The most valuable retailer has no inventory, and the world's most popular media owner has no content. So we talk about disruption. It's more than disruption. We're turning industries up and over. So our own business is what we were yesterday. If you expect to be the same tomorrow, you're probably going to lose the competition. So we got to get creative and partner appropriately. We talk about digital signage, and it's really a fascinating little space. Number one, it's a horrible name for a communications medium, but we know it as digital signage, and that's what's discussed in the marketplace. If you all remember years ago, we had, when the internet came out and websites were popular, the first people to push back on web development happened to be the creative agencies, if you remember that. And they used to be called advertising agencies. And when they figured out that the web actually was a really strong medium for communicating brand messaging and brand promise and that sort of thing, they embraced it. So all those old ad companies became digital marketing companies. And so they're having a little bit of the same resistance today towards digital signage. But if you think about digital signage in the right context, it is the next dramatic shift in communications, right? So just like the World Wide Web changed communication strategy, so will digital signage and out-of-home media. And so as soon as the marketing agencies embrace that, we're going to see a real big uptick and accelerate market growth. So really, in the old days, it was print, radio, TV, and tomorrow this includes web and digital signage for sure in an integrated marketing strategy. Digital signage is relevant across industries. And you'd be hard-pressed to find an industry where there wasn't an application for it. At the end of the day, these are signs. So in transportation, retail, hospitality, I've given a lot of examples here. Our largest growth segments seem to be in corporate communications and retail. But when you go out today, when you drive to lunch, you'll find it both in the billboards, you'll find it potentially in the parking meters you stop at, you'll walk into the restaurant, you might see a digital menu board or people carrying tablets to assist in ordering. It's everywhere. And again, digital signage may not be the right name for it, but digital technology communicating visual messages is out there. If we did a quick SWOT on the marketplace for you, why is it growing? It's in the traditional SWOT, we talk about Seneca in the strengths area. So for Seneca, it's our global reach, it's our supplier partnerships, it's our financial strength, but really it's our world-class engineering and support, and we'll get into that a little bit. Digital signage installation is not easy. It tends to be complex. And so really you want to make sure you've got experts in there to make sure it's going to deliver the experience that customers want. And the opportunity, expected to be a $27 billion industry by 2022. It's seen category growth year over year for the last 5 years. I think it's 20 to 28%, one of those numbers. But really, and again, go back to your own lives, the customer's affinity for video and interactivity. With the growth of YouTube, with the growth of volumes of rich media content, people want to do something with this, and digital signage is a great way to communicate all that content that brands are spending money on today. Customers expect to see video, they expect to see touch and interact. They want to be more self-service oriented. The weakness, the one drawback to the opportunities in digital signage is there's far too much choice. There's over 650 software companies to choose from, more every day. The hardware choices seem to be as prevalent, and then you've got your decisions on operating systems, whether you go Android or Windows, and there's all kinds of complex decisions, which makes the decision-making process slow. It gives end users, for a big investment and a lot of choice, it'll slow down the process. The threats to the marketplace are failing pilots with poor planning. If you don't do as much work up front to ensure a proper pilot, it's going to fail. And usually that's, as we all know, is cost cutting. If I paint a picture of the digital signage ecosystem, you know that there's a lot of moving parts. And you'll hear a lot in this marketplace that content is king. You see that on the top. And that's really, you hear it all the time, but it is. If somebody doesn't have a content strategy or something to say, you don't need digital signage, right? So again, putting it in the context of the first slide of integrated marketing strategy, what do you have to communicate and how are you going to communicate it to your audience? And then digital signage should be considered. You don't start with digital signage and try to backfill it and say, okay, now it's up, what are we going to put on the screens? You got to start with a message and figure out how you're going to reach the audience. So content is one piece of it. If you go to the right side, there's operations, there's installation, support, and maintenance, designing the network topology. There's the business case, how much to put in, where's my break even, how am I going to get my return. Depending on the vertical, those returns could be very different. It could be an uplift in sales. It could be, from a corporate communications, it could be getting people to show up the Red Cross, donation day or something. But what the return is on the right side. Whereas Jeffrey Weitzman and I, or Navori and Seneca, plays on the far left in the software and hardware piece. Navori is experts in the content management system, so you'll hear the acronym CMS, Content Management System or Content Management Software. Navori is leading the field there. And on the hardware side, Seneca, well known for our reputation of doing some big deals in the marketplace, but the uniqueness of our media player offering. We'll get into that a little bit more. So that's the setup. Who are we? Seneca, we're an old company in technology, founded in '79. Our roots are in distribution, so we've come full circle. In 2014, we were acquired by Arrow Electronics, which is I think the 120th largest company in the world on the Fortune 500 list, $23 billion in revenue. So our factories and capabilities now are much more than they were a couple of years ago. Arrow has invested in our plant here in Syracuse, New York, which is where I'm speaking from, and we leverage the Arrow factories both in Phoenix, Arizona, and around the world. And our focus at Seneca has become everything involving video. Visual media, which is digital signage and broadcast, security and surveillance, heavy on the video network recorder side, and our legacy enterprise computing business. Jeffrey will speak in a little bit, but the background and go a little bit more detail. But Navori is a relatively new company in technology, but an older company in digital signage. Founded in '95, they're headquartered in Switzerland, with North American offices in Montreal, which is where Jeffrey's speaking from. They're doing a tremendous job taking market share in the U.S. marketplace, particularly for the ease of use of the software. And really that's what's attractive to Seneca. So we've got a good partnership in that we're able to pre-install and sell Navori licenses as turnkey ready as we can on Seneca systems. From a hardware standpoint, Seneca Visual Media really crosses the spectrum of digital signage. And I want you to be aware of all the different applications. I mentioned digital signage may not be the right name for it, but for signage, our players, both for content creation, high-end workstations, as well as playback. Our media players are well known in the industry, and they're unique to Seneca data. We also have partnerships with AOPN and Nexcom and a world of other niche media player manufacturers, but we fill gaps with our own products. So digital signage, kiosk and self-service, and video wall sort of encompass our expertise in the video and the visual media solution market. So you can see it there. Don't limit us to just a lobby digital signage screen. We have expertise across these areas. Our product line, these are Seneca exclusive products. They're very robust, from one screen on the left to driving up to 32 displays on the right with our video wall controller and everything in between. Seneca creates these products when we can't find them in the marketplace, and so we have everything from, again, single out to multi-out to fanless and rugged to consumerish and inexpensive for those environments. On the right-hand side, you can see factors to consider. While we're going to promote a solution that we think will fit most in digital signage, the reality is one size doesn't fit all. And on the right-hand side, I offer up some questions for you to consider when engaging in a signage project. How many screens are there? What's the connectivity? Is it HDMI? What's the content strategy? Is it 4K? Is it static images? Is it video? How many videos? Are you going to divide the screen up? So all of these answers sort of dictate the hardware requirements, and they shouldn't be overlooked. The time spent on those factors to consider questions are going to ensure a proper spec solution and a successful pilot. So that's really the Seneca piece in terms of the background. Just to give some supporting validation, we've been involved in some of the industry's largest projects. Our most recent win was Target just at the end of last year. We did all of the Levi Stadium with a partner ahead of the Super Bowl last year. In fact, ahead of the season, which led up to the Super Bowl being in San Francisco last year at Levi Stadium. You started to see the Pepsi interactive machines where you can mix your own flavors. That interactive kiosk for self-service device, Seneca supported technology, as well as a bunch of other engineering services helped bring that product to market. And the world's largest revenue-generating billboard in New York City in Times Square is powered by 22 servers that we delivered out of our Syracuse manufacturing plant. So a lot of successes to talk about in different areas of digital signage, and we're confident we can help with projects large and small going forward. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Jeffrey.
Scott, thank you very much, and that was an excellent tee-up, and I think Scott brought up some really important points about digital signage, or what should be considered something much broader than that. So, we look at the market as being screen-based communication, And anywhere there's a display, you need a way to manage what's going to play on that display and how it's going to happen. So I'm going to give everyone a quick overview and introduction to Navori, who we are, what it is that we do. Definitely want to point out that when you have a digital signage software and or a content management system, as Scott selected, you need to make sure that you have the right hardware. And that is why we've selected Seneca as our certified and premier partner to make sure that we have reliable playback and stable playback and that your screens are always doing what they're supposed to do. That being said, just to give you a background, Navori is a Swiss company. We were started in 1996, so we have about 20 years experience in digital signage. We have a presence in about 115 different countries. We work 100% through partners, so different types of resellers and distributors. The product's available in, we are a global company, so it's available in 27 different languages. We're a company that believes strongly in investing in our product and making sure that everything we do is up to date and modern. So we're looking at feedback from our partners, feedback from their customers, feedback from trends in the industry, new technologies that are available. And we're constantly looking at these points to see what can we do to make sure that our platform is innovative and offers and addresses all the needs that customers are looking for, and it gives our partners an advantage so that they could sell and beat their competitors. So that's always our objective. Navori has been successful and profitable every year, so we could see some stats here. I put that in the slide as well. And although we're a privately owned company, we are backed by well-known shareholders. Two of the partners that we have are Index Ventures, which is the money that originally created Skype, and the LVMH group, which is the Louis Vuitton group. So very healthy and long-term with good backing. Next slide, please. Or am I able to? Okay. So over here, this slide, we talk about reaching every audience. So this is just to say that in digital signage or in screen-based communication, when you're selling the system, you need a tool that can help you appeal to many different audiences. So traditionally in digital signage, you'd be selling, this would be thought of as something that would be sold to someone in IT. Today, that's no longer true. You need someone, a product that could appeal to someone in HR, someone in marketing, media teams, IT administrators. So regardless of the background or the technical know-how that the user has, they should be able to navigate and use the system. So now we're going to jump into a quick overview where you guys can actually see how it looks like. And what I can do is maybe just run through quick examples, and then we'll look at the actual software because I know we're tight for time. So here you can see you can sell into government. You've got different video wall examples. You can go into retail, point of sale, so there's some banking scenarios here, also retail chains with the Kooples is a store, international franchise.
Sorry if I'm advancing too quickly, Jeffrey.
No, keep going. Good pace. The faster the better because I want to show the software too. So quick service restaurant, this is a fast-growing market, so for menu boards mainly, but also advertisement screens in those restaurants. Arena and stadium or other markets you could look at, so you could do concessions, you could do video walls, concourse signage, anything. So this, again, just trying to give you a little bit of the versatility of the platform and where digital signage applies. This is live at Montreal Canadiens. Taxicabs. So this is actually the largest network of digital signage by any end user. This is a network that we did that is 23,000 endpoints. These are interactive tablets with little games that people can play on while they're in the cab, and it also switches automatically between those games and the advertising content. I should also point out that as a whole, Navori has done just over 500,000 endpoints worldwide that are running today. So I think, so advertising, that's obviously a big network, a big market as well. So again, it could be ad displays, pump top TVs, grocery stores, outdoor signage, all of the above are possibilities. Transportation, airports is also a big market, metros and subway systems, buses, we can integrate with GPS systems and trigger content based on location. So there's lots of more advanced things you could do as well. Anyone who's interested can always reach out to Seneca and we can explain more about that as well. Fantastic. So now I'm going to share with everyone my display so you can see what the UI looks like. So this is what it looks like to a person when they log in. Everything's controlled through a web browser. So you log in with a username and password. And then you'll see one dashboard with 4 windows. You have the player window, content window, program, and update player window. in the player window, which is step 1, all you do is organize your displays. So you have different groups, and in those groups you have your displays with a name. So this first step is to select the group you want to work on. Step 2, you have your content window. So in your content window, you're organizing your media. So here I'll just create a folder, and we'll call this one, we'll call it example. Press OK. Now I can go into folder example, right-click, and say new media, and I'm going to select some content that I can then upload to that folder. As the content uploads, you'll see a thumbnail and the name of the file will appear, so it's easy for me to identify. So just give that a second to upload. So I'm taking content from my computer, uploading it to the server, and then all I need to do is drag and drop this content into my program, and it becomes part of the sequence of what's going to play on the screen. So very simple, drag and drop. You can learn this in 5 seconds. Last step is just select the player and hit the update button. And that's all you need to do, and that's going to send, and we call that the 4 easy steps. So we pride ourselves on having the simplest solution to learn, and we've bundled this with the Seneca hardware so that you guys can have a solution to offer that's turnkey out of the box, that people can deliver content to displays with no effort at all. I'm going to switch to a camera view to show you a bit more advanced stuff with some interactive content. So if you bear with me just 1 second, we're going to show you some wayfinding and content triggering. So if I walk over to this room over here, everybody should now see me on the camera. So I will wave to everyone. Over here we have a kiosk. The kiosk is running regular digital signage content, but what happens is if I touch the screen, it exits the standard digital signage mode and it goes into interactive mode. I can now navigate, where I can go and select what I want. So this is a basic wayfinding application. What's going to happen is when it's done showing us the directions, in this case to H&M, it's going to revert right back to the signage. So again, just giving you ideas of what customers might ask for and the types of solutions that can be delivered through this bundle solution. So this is on a timer. I believe it's 40 seconds, so we'll have to wait a second. In the interim, while that's doing what it's supposed to do, we're going to move our attention to this 3x1 wall here. So I wanted to show you there's a lot of demand in the market now for event-based content. So having scheduled media is important, but what happens if I want to play something right now based on something that's happening in real time? So everybody should be able to see the red button where my hand is. When I push that red button, a green piece of content should appear that says alert warning. So this media was not scheduled, but is only playing because I pushed that red button. So this is a very basic example of what I'll call emergency notification or schedule interruption. So this could be tied in with fire alarms, it could be tied in with sensors, RFID, some type of camera analytics where it detects male and female and then plays the appropriate content. So lots of possibilities there. So we'd love to give anyone who's interested more information about that. If they care, they can reach out to us that way. And now I know we only have 5 minutes left, so I think we should move to Q&A.
Yeah, I'll just wrap up. I get a couple slides here, and feel free to use the chat bar. But so, you know, that's a lot of information in a hurry. Seneca's message is we're reseller focused as well. So our adage or our mantra in visual media is simple, reliable, and scalable. We want to make sure that we have and prepare the equipment to make it as easy for you to install and start generating revenue for your customer as possible. So simple, we install the software, we activate license to make it turnkey. Reliable, all of our systems have been tested. Jeffrey referenced the certification process between Navori software and our hardware. Our engineers collaborate to make sure that the product is set to optimize for Navori. And scalable, deals large and small. Seneca, both financially and our factory capabilities, can meet the requirements of your large deals. So, advanced slide. So here we are together, better together, milk and cookies. Our Seneca Xscape Flex, which is our newest product, just released earlier, beginning of this year. This is a rugged, fanless device that probably meets the requirements of 70-75% that you'll run into. for 1 or 2 display opportunities with 1 year of Navori software. So really, from a turnkey standpoint, available through PSA, and the part numbers down below, starting at $469, you'll get the Xscape Flex with a 1 year license. Again, the Xscape Flex is 4K capable. It's solid state, meaning fanless, and it'll drive up to 2 displays with dual HDMI off the board. It'll also qualify for your discounts on our LG commercial display offering. So Seneca and Navori equals installation ready. Please reach out to us. Again, one size doesn't fit all, so we'll help you determine if this solution is going to fit your customer's requirement or not, and we'll go from there. So we look forward to all the opportunities you guys bring forward. And if you have more requirement for education in digital signage, please reach out to Jeffrey and I at any time. This presentation will be posted, and if you want to snap this contact information from this screen, you're welcome to. There's also a website here. You'll have to use that link to navigate specifically to this website with information on our bundle. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. So I did have a few quick questions. What are the main factors that are driving growth in the digital signage?
You know, there's lots of reasons, but, you know, competitive advantage, depending on the vertical, competitive advantage in the quick serve marketplace, people are looking for different experiences that are particularly sought out by millennials and some of the younger generations. So you can tell the core of retail, modern day retail, is changing, and it's to try to attract those young folks who spend a lot of money. There's also some, you know, more economical reasons, which are the cost of displays are decreasing dramatically. You know, years ago, whoever had the plasma TV was, you know, the big shot in town. We all have very thin screens at home today. The power of computer processing has increased that we can handle huge video files they wouldn't be able to support without spending a lot of money in years past. So price of displays is coming down. The power of compute is going up without an increase in cost. And again, the need for branding and, you know, clever marketing to stand apart from your competition, all factors driving the growth.
Okay, great. Thank you. Can you name a challenge the industry is facing?
Sure, I can take that if that's all right, Scott. So I think one of the challenges is and always has been is, you know, just educating customers, and that's something that that's one of the reasons we want to put together this bundle and make it easy to get information and have a solution that's reliable and that you know is going to work. There is quite a lot of things that you'll find if you just Google digital signage, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and that, you know, not everything is what it seems. So that was why it was so important to have an extremely reputable hardware company partner with an extremely reputable software company to ensure that the solution that's being given is one that is dependable and one that you can get the right level of service to make sure that your customers are repeat customers.
All right, thank you, Jeffrey. And one more question. CMS acronym stands for what?
Content management. Well, it's a good question. Content management systems is what I say, but it could be content management software.
Content management system. You were on the ball for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
And that is simply in CMS is simply the software required to schedule, you know, playback of content. That's accurate, Jeffrey, I think.
Yeah, that is 100% accurate. So it's really content management, content distribution, and content playback. So those are the 3 parts of it.
Great.
Excellent. Well, thank you both very much. And it does look like that's all of the questions that we have for today. So if any of you would like to review this presentation again or would like to pass it along, we will have a recorded version of it posted very soon. You can find it by visiting psasecurity.com/education. Thank you very much to Scott Folso and Jeffrey Weitzman. Their contact information is posted here for any questions you may have after this presentation. Make sure that you visit our website, that's psasecurity.com, to be sure that you're leveraging all that PSA Security Network has to offer. On our homepage, you can access our future webinar events, this recording, educational offerings, and business solutions. This will conclude today's presentation. Thanks again, gentlemen, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.